Family, what's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all feeling, man? Stoner Trap, and we back. You dig? We are back in the building. It's your host, the Road to Most, Steve-O Stoner, aka Stoner Trap CEO. And today it's a sad podcast, but we're gonna bring light to a situation that happened with a young man by the name of Cyrus Belton. He was a 14-year-old boy from Columbia, South Carolina, who was fatally shot on May 28th, 2023. Now, a lot of people forgot about this case, but it recently came back up in the headlines because the trial had just ended, right? And after this young man was shot for being suspected of stealing a water bottle, which he did not steal. Let's get that straight. Let's get that all the way cleared up. He didn't steal the water bottle, and it was worth $1.25, man. So it's like, is a black life worth that? You dig? So it's like, let's really dive into it. The store owner, the person who unalived this young man, goes by the name of Rick Child. Him and his grown ass son chased down this 14-year-old young man for 130 some odd yards, which is longer than a football field. That's fucking crazy. And they unalived this young man. So we gonna dive into what happened after the trial, what happened during the trial, and what happened after, and public reactions surrounding it. So let's get right into it.
About this case that we got to touch on. Let's touch on that. We got to talk about this case out there in South Carolina.
I do. I be forgetting to put
an
my
Asian man named Rick
Child.
All right. A lot of people are talking about this case. Oh yeah, y'all talking about this case that we got to touch on. Let's touch on that. We got to talk about this case out there in South Carolina. A case involving an Asian man named Rick Child. All right. A lot of people are talking about this case. There was a case involving a 14-year-old child, and we're calling him a child because you are a child, a kid named Cyrus Belton. This was in South Carolina. This child is basically another rehashing of the Latasha Harling's case. You go into an Asian-run store. This child, Cyrus, 14 years old, black child, he was accused of shoplifting a damn water bottle, which he didn't even shoplift. All right, let's get something straight. This kid did not steal anything. This kid didn't steal anything. They looked at the surveillance video. He looked in the freezer, picked up some water and put it back and just left. And they assumed he stole something. And then they ran after him and pew-pewed this kid in the back and unalived him. All right? And then they tried to say that he had a pew-pew with him. But he didn't point the pew-pew at nobody. They tried to say he had a pew-pew with him. That's questionable.
I don't think that mattered either way, whether he had something with him or not. Shoot, I damn near wish if he did, I wish he would have used it. He maybe would have. And the crazy part is, he wouldn't have got out for self-defense with them chasing him if he used this blick, because look at the young man Carmelo Anthony out in Texas. Defended his life from being jumped on by a group of racist ass kids, and he's the one in jail. They not even trying to give him self-defense. They got him on first degree murder, as if he plotted the shit out and planned it out. He was at a damn race. He was at a track meet. He was at a track meet of a school that he attended, and he was one of the participants of the track meet. So how would he come there intentionally with murder on his mind? Who is he, YNW Melly? Like, damn.
That's some questionable stuff. But they unalived this kid. It wasn't no self-defense because the kid was leaving. He saw that these folks was on his bumper. and they pew-pewed this kid in the back. So there was a trial, and that jury said, okay, this Asian man, Rick Chow, is not guilty. So this is just like the Latasha Harling situation. It's another case of that. Hold on one second. I'm getting emails and stuff like that. Hold on one second. So listen. Man, what did I say? Hold on one second. Y'all bear with me. All right. Y'all bear with me. 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Y'all bear with me 1 second.
Tariq, we ain't finna go through this old man shit with you, man. We finna go on to the
Asian American community upholding white supremacy. We need to talk about Rick Chow. In 2023, he shot a 14-year-old black boy, Cyrus Belton. He had shot at 2 people prior to this. And
wow, didn't know that. He clapped 2 motherfuckers before this. I seen a video on X of Rick Chow fighting some black girls that was at his store. Apparently, the context was that the girls tore the store up. I don't know if this was old, if this was new, when this happened, or I couldn't see if it was him clearly. You know how internet propaganda is, so I had to verify it. But that's crazy. Did not know that he did this to 2 people already.
What? The Asian American community to understand that you did not fall out of a coconut tree, that the anti-blackness rooted in the Asian American community is the Asian American community upholding white supremacy. AAPM month is over, but we all need a history lesson.
You heard him say it, right? I didn't say it. He said it. See, the dominant society, white supremacy, likes to have a racial hierarchy of a class system, right? Of a caste system, rather, sorry. And they want it to be white folks on the top, all of these immigrant and outside groups in the middle to be a buffer class, and then have black folks permanently at the bottom, foundational black Americans. Nah, we not having that shit. That's not how the shit is going. But he sees that's how they want it to be structured, and that's what we always fought against.
Let me go through a couple things. 1, slavery never ended. I will tie everything together, but stay with me. Slavery never ended. It was actually just the modern prison system. 2, U.S. conquest never ended. It's just much easier to do a regime change and control other people's governments. So Korea and the Philippines, I'm talking in broad strokes to make a point. They are glorified U.S. military bases. The U.S. doesn't just hold hard power over these countries, many Asian countries. They also hold soft power because America exports its culture. The bedrock of U.S. culture is capitalism, white supremacy, and because of modern slavery, anti-blackness. So when we tempt Asian immigrants to come to America that have consumed the American dream, the allure is the proximity to whiteness.
Yes, it
but
is.
when you get here, at best, you're a cog in the capitalist machine, and at worst, you too are a glorified serf, a subsistence farmer, someone who has to work just to survive. And you realize you were tricked by the system.
Hey, he being real, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because once you get yourself into that space, just think about it. As a white supremacist, they're putting you in the box of, yeah, we can use you. We can use your labor. We can use your contributions, whatever talents or import, export, whatever you have, we're gonna extract it, right? But we're not gonna let you in to be a part of this conglomerate fully because, number one, you're not from here, and we don't like you just as much as we don't like them. And number 2, now that we've used you to abuse them, we know that we can't trust you. You're not trustworthy, right? So it's one of those things where you put yourself in a fucked up position trying to assimilate to whiteness when you really can't be that.
What? But instead of pushing against the system, because then you would have to admit that you are fallible, that you can be tricked, you instead lean into the oppressive system and uphold the tenets of white supremacy in the United States because you think that one day you'll be rewarded by this. So that anti-blackness that you are performing and mirroring mainstream white culture becomes ingrained in you, and you begin to believe it, and then you begin to spread it and pass it down. and then innocent young black children are murdered without repercussion. If you are an Asian American and you harbor anti-blackness within your heart, you're actually upholding your very own oppression. You're holding the knife of white supremacy to your own neck. Model minority myth meant to divide and conquer us. Just think critically, why does mainstream culture sow so much division? And why do you believe it? Why do you eat it up?
All right, now we're going to stop it right there. Because that division shit, and that's the reason why as foundational black Americans, we don't have any friends. He's telling you, he may be cool as an individual, but he's telling you that his whole community practice this anti-black racism in hopes that they can be with white society. When we got groups like that around us operating within our communities, running businesses, but they can't respect the people, they want to not only can they disrespect the people, but they go as far as to harm our children. This was a child. And it's not the first incident that went national of them hurting our children, man. So at the end of the day, we don't have friends. There is no minority coalition. That doesn't exist. Foundational black Americans, we are all we got.
By a boycott of an Asian hair store here in Houston. And immediately when I get on TikTok, I see a post of a young gentleman saying people all over the country are boycotting Asian hair stores and Asian nail salons because of what happened to Cyrus. The most liked comment said, why punish other businesses that had nothing to do that? And my response to that is very simple. Because I can't look at the color of your skin to determine whether you're friend or foe. For years, y'all have looked at the color of our skin and looped us all as criminals, as has-beens. We ain't gonna never be nothing, and we are tired.
Hey, she not lying, though. So, y'all can have these negative stereotypes about us being violent and all of this crazy shit, but you don't have any national cases of a black store owner harming an Asian child. I've never heard that happen. But we've had countless incidents of an Asian store owner handling our people the wrong way. Just think about it. Not even only this incident, you can go right now and there are viral videos on social media of these store owners in liquor stores, nail salons, all types of corner stores fighting the black community. And they fight the women and the children. You don't never see them getting up with these YNs with the switches and the ski mask and the shit that they talk about on the news. You don't never see them fighting them. You don't never see it. That's crazy.
But when to you, it's a problem. But Drea, we're not all like that, and I understand that you're not all like that, but I am not willing to walk into another store or into another business that don't have somebody that look like me to find out that you're not one of the cool ones. What do? We stop going to all of your establishments. We start supporting our own, period. I'm about to start putting together a series of black...
I gotta clap it up for that. I gotta clap it up for that. Oh, that's what we need. That's what the fuck we do. Come on. I love it. Listen to me. As a foundational black American, I'm saying this. We have to start supporting each other's businesses and services way more because we see these people don't love us. You dig? I'd rather deal with the inner conflicts that we have as a community than deal with anybody's outside bullshit. I'm the type, I don't let anybody disrespect the lineage around me, point blank, period. And it's so sad to see that this kid had to be, I can't even put it in words for real because he's so young. He's so young when I'm just sitting here thinking about it. At 14, for that to happen, it almost reminds me of the situation with Emmett Till. Emmett Till was 14 when he was unalive by going to these people's store that don't rock with us, that have anti-black racism in their heart, and they lynched him. They did what they did to him. But it was upon his mother to have an open casket because they basically mangled the kid. And she wanted the world to see it when people were trying to hide it. And that was one of the main catalysts that sparked the civil rights movement. It was a lot going on to have the civil rights movement, but that was like a main thing that, all right, they harming our black children, the gloves are off. We finna fight this thing. You dig? So
Wall
I
Street
love it.
Zooms, that is free. That is.
Look at this. This is apparently his last moments.
That needs to put on the ice cream chest. Yep.
They was already watching this kid. It was nobody else in the store, it don't look like, but they was hawking him the minute he came in. Oh yeah, it was somebody else in the store. It was a white dude. Boy, was that the son? No, that's the son. He went behind the counter. Damn, y'all ain't got shit else to do? Man, they was on dummy with Lil Bro. You could tell. He trying to act like he looking at the chips. He watching, bro. See, he probably walking around like this because he feel you watching him. He take the water and he put it right back. A water in his pocket? You will see a big ass water bottle in his pocket. Come on, man. Look, even the dude is looking like, why y'all tripping over water? And he walks out after y'all done accused him. Now he running. Y'all finna chase him. Oh man, y'all chased him. That's what I'm saying. Y'all chased him over a water game. Over water. All of that over water. I don't understand that, bro. I do understand it. It's hatred.
Picks up 4 bottles of water, changes his mind, puts them all back, and 60 seconds later, he's dead with a bullet in his back. That's what happened to Cyrus Carmack Belton on the night of May 28th, 2023, outside a Shell station on Park Lane Road in Columbia, South Carolina. And the man who pulled the trigger, the store owner...
This goofy ass motherfucker. Goofy face bastard. Look at him. Fucking goofy.
Himself, 61-year-old Rick Chow. It started with a false
61.
accusation. Chow and his family suspected Cyrus of shoplifting water from...
That's what I'm saying. You ain't got the wherewithal at 61 years old to let a situation go that can be so petty. You know, like that's what lets you know that it's really hatred. Because as a 61-year-old man, I'm too tired to be running around chasing some young buck that I think ran out of my store with a water. Even if I felt like he did it. You get what I'm saying? Like, come on, G.
Their store. But here's what the store's own surveillance cameras proved. The teen never stole a thing. He picked up the bottles, then placed every single one back in the cooler. No theft, no crime, nothing. But Rick Chow didn't care about what the cameras showed. He cared about what he believed. After an argument, Cyrus walked out. Instead of letting it go, Chow's adult son Andy started chasing the teenager down the street. Rick Chow followed right behind him, armed with a loaded .45 caliber Glock. A grown man with a gun, pursuing a child who had done absolutely nothing wrong. Cyrus ran 139 yards, longer than a football field.
And he got that big ass gun on him. Shorty know he had that gun. If he go to that store, he know what dude be on. You know, and he's so scared and he's such a child. They said that he had a gun on him, but he ain't even turned around and pointed at the dude when he can clearly see him chasing him down with a gun. That's crazy.
Desperately trying to get away. He ran so hard he lost his sneakers. He dropped his phone. He was running for his life and didn't even know it yet. But then he tripped. Near a set of apartments on Springtree Drive, Cyrus hit the ground hard. Andy Chow claimed the teen pulled a gun and pointed it at him. He screamed to his father, and in that moment, Rick Chow made a choice. He fired a single round into the back of a 14-year-old boy. Not the chest.
That was hatred. That was hatred. He shot that young man in his back. He shot that little boy in his fucking back. That was hatred, gang. If he got up and pointed a gun at you, how the fuck you shoot him in his back, bro? That don't even make sense. They already had the trial where they had specialists come in and explain that it's no way possible that he shot him in his back when he said that he turned around and pointed a gun at him. It was cap. They said he was in the running position when he got shot. His mom came out and said that.
Front, the back. A forensic pathologist later testified the bullet tore through Cyrus's lower back and pierced his heart. A wound she called universally fatal. Now here's where it gets worse. Body camera footage from the scene captured Rick Chow's own words to deputies that night. He never once said the gun was pointed at him or his son. His exact words were, "My son saw a gun in his hand, so I took my weapon. Saw a gun, not aimed at, not threatened with, just saw." That distinction is everything. A judge agreed. In November 2025, Chow's stand your ground immunity claim was denied. The court ruled he failed to prove the teenager ever pointed a weapon at anyone. Bond was denied too. The judge called Chow a danger to the community and a flight risk. He's been sitting in a cell ever since his arrest. Now, jury selection begins Tuesday, May 26, 2026 at the Richland County Courthouse.
And you see how it turned out. They let him out. Okay. That was a weird video.
I'm not sure why he ran.
Did he ever stop and ask to shake your hand?
No, sir.
Did he ever run towards you?
No, sir.
Okay. He was running away from you, right, Andy?
I can't speak for him.
What you mean you can't speak?
Was he running towards you?
No, sir.
Was he running away from you? It's not a hard question.
I guess not to me, yes, sir.
He was trying to get away from where you were.
This dude, now he's stupid. Now all of a sudden he dumb. Okay, so we could kill the whole narrative that Asians are the smartest in the country. Because obviously this guy is stupid. He don't know if he can't distinguish if somebody is running towards him or running away from him. So this guy is dumb.
Correct.
Could be.
Playing dumb.
It could be.
These thick ass glasses.
You and your dad are yelling at him and running after him.
I did not. Outside of the store, I did not yell at him.
You yelled at him in the store.
Well, I called out to him, "Hey."
And your dad yelled to him when he got out of the store.
And my dad called out, "Hey" to him. Yes.
And he ran away from you.
Okay, yes, sir.
I'm asking you. This is your chance to answer my questions. And they're not hard, are they? He ran away from you and your father, did he not?
He did run away from me.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
At any point did he turn and engage with you.
Listen to him play stupid. We not gonna do that.
They followed him around. He was shopping.
There you are.
He took 4
Even
waters,
dude
he
looking
put
like,
them
what the
back.
fuck?
He
Why
even
y'all tripping?
showed them by shaking his hoodie that he took nothing. And he walked out of the store. He didn't argue with them. He didn't have any confrontation. He didn't curse them. He just walked out. He was respectful.
The fact that he turned his back. Number one, everything that she just said was on point. The fact that he got accused of stealing, he shook his hoodie to show them that it's no water bottle in here. A water bottle would have been there, especially with me grabbing 4 of them. He didn't argue with y'all, meaning he didn't make you feel an imminent threat, and he walked out of the store, meaning he removed himself from the situation. Y'all got back into the situation and caused the danger by chasing him and then pulling out a gun on him and shooting him. This is a clear-cut case of murder. I don't see how this dude got away with this shit.
And yet 2 grown people chased him. He fell and they shot him. He shot him dead, like as if he was a dog. And I do not understand how that jury can come back and say that he was not guilty.
That's wrong, actually. You can't even do a dog like that, because he would have went to jail if he'd have did a dog like that. And that's what shows you what a black life means to these people.
He was in a runner's stance. It was shown by the pathologist, and they said he was not guilty. It was devastating for me to get a call from Alvin S. Glenn letting me know that Rick Chow was released. That broke me more than you can ever imagine, because my murderer of my son was set free.
His bitch ass ain't even gonna get deported. He ain't finna move back. He gonna be here. His ass gonna be here. He not gonna be at that store no more, because he know better than that. They done already tore that motherfucker apart. But he will still be in this country making money, feeding his family, going on with his life, enjoying his kids and his wife like nothing happened. That's fucked up.
And it's not fair, and it's unjust. And nobody can tell me that this is not racially motivated.
Period.
Because I'm not supposed to be on social media anyway. But when I go and I look at my social media, I have racist people coming to my page, going under my son's pictures, leaving the most horrific things, saying that they're glad he's dead, good riddance, and I am tired.
Imagine that. Imagine saying that about a child. It's no way possible that grown people should be feeling some type of way about this situation, about a kid. But they love to denigrate us. They love to treat our children as if they're grown-ups. They give this criminal outlook on our children, and they like to punish them as if they grown-ups too. I remember when I was a kid, they had this thing called being super predators. That was like big in the 90s. They would give these young juveniles, 13, 14, 15, you getting caught with guns and drugs, man, they giving you crazy time. As if you're a grown person. It's crazy out there, man.
I don't want this to happen to any other child. No black or brown child should have to go through this. No parent should have to go through this. This has to stop today. And I just learned today that South Carolina, if it's a murder charge, that they cannot bring in any of your prior acts. Rick Chow shot 2 people before. Rick Chow accosted a child in that store and beat her up with a gun on her hip. And none of that information could be brought to light. And I do not think that is fair. And
no, that's not fair. And they not gonna do that for a black person if you was on trial for murder. You would be they would socially uncover all of the information about your entire life. Like, they wouldn't miss a beat, trust me. You would be under a microscope as far as society is concerned. And they will make you the villain. You know, the narrative is not going to be positive, especially for a murder. Are you crazy?
If that is on the law books, that needs to be changed. Because if that was not there, then my son would have gotten justice. And to allow this person to terrorize this neighborhood for 12, 13 years is ridiculous. And it's just showing that it's okay to treat black and brown people wrong, and it's not.
I don't like that she threw that brown in there, but this is a hurting mother, you dig? So I ain't really gonna be particular about the words. But foundational Black Americans, we are all we got. I'm gonna keep saying that. The theme is this. Now I'm just looking at this young man. He's just so damn young, bro. It's crazy. But the thing is this. With foundational Black Americans, we are gonna have to replace this system of white supremacy with a system of justice for real. Because what's gonna happen is, if we can't go through the proper channels of the judicial system to get the justice that we deserve when we're accosted and when these weird ass scenarios and situations happen, then we gonna take it to the streets and start turning up. You're going to see black folks turning up all around the country, just like you have in all of the prior situations where people felt like they was going to keep us oppressed and keep the system was going to keep their foot on our neck. That's not gonna fly. 2026, is you crazy? Come on, man. And we're steady noticing all the things going on with the children. The Carmelo thing, like, it's too much going on, bro. You think FBAs is gonna stand by and just watch this shit happen? No. It's gonna be a turn coming soon. I feel it. It's a powder keg that's gonna blow. That's what's gonna happen. But let's tune back into what Tariq is talking about real quick.
Kai Gurley, because we weren't rocking with. Said whatever you have to say, make it applicable to what we're talking about. Y'all stop saying, hey, let me up. Check this guy talking about, hey, he's a scapegoat. Say some bullshit. Don't say some bullshit. Don't do that. Hey, let me up, Tariq. I got something deep. Let me up. All right, here. Okay, what you got to say? It's a clause. Okay, come on now. Come on. All right? We don't want to get off topic. We're trying to make a point here. All right. Like I said, this situation is basically like the Latasha Harling situation. They're sending a systemic message that you'll be protected by the state if you are a non-black person who eliminates a black youth. You understand? For any reason. Just like the Peter Liang thing. Remember Peter Liang or Liang out there in New York City? He was a New York City officer, Asian guy. He unalived a Kai Gurley, and the Kai Gurley was Caribbean, by the way, but we still rode for a Kai Gurley because we weren't rocking with those Asians attacking a black person. So a Kai Gurley was pew-pewed in a stairwell, and the whole Asian community all around the country got together to protect this guy, talking about, hey, he's a scapegoat, it was a mistake, and all this stuff. The whole Asian community got together to protect Peter Liang and shield him.
And that's kind of crazy because if you looking at TikTok and some of the Twitter rhetoric, you see the Asian community is trying to protect Rick Chang in 2026 for what just happened with Cyrus. So that I'm glad that he brought that up. That's a great point, and you could use that as a parallel for how the society operates, how this community wants to treat us.
And the media was protecting him in the whole nine, and nothing happened to him. You see? See, they like to criminalize the victim to justify these executions. See, the legal system, they immediately pivot into criminalizing the black victim to justify the violence. Like in this Rick Chow case, they were talking about the 14-year-old having a pew-pew even though he was fleeing. They said he dropped the weapon. He never pointed no weapon at nobody. He never shot back or pew-pewed back. I love TikTok Shop. And some people saying he didn't have a pew-pew at all. I don't know. We do know he wasn't a threat to nobody. That's what we know. He wasn't.
Yeah, his mom pointed that out when she said that, number one, he showed them after they accused him of stealing the water bottle, he had nothing on him. Number two, he did not argue back and forth with them. And then number three, he actually removed himself from the situation. He left out of the store. He turned his back. He didn't run out of the store. That's a misconception. He walked away. And once he got a certain amount of feet and realized that they were following him and they started running towards him, he see two grown-ass men with a gun running towards him. Hell yeah, he took off. And you see how the situation turned out. So
he didn't do anything. He didn't shoplift nothing, and he wasn't a threat. So they always have to frame a narrative that black people are always responsible for their own unalivings.
Crazy.
And they do this whole self-defense loophole. See, when dealing with black people, the threshold for self-defense is non-existent almost. A black person or a non-black person, meaning an Asian, a Latino, an Arab, or whatever, all they got to do is claim they feared for their lives. They use the white supremacist playbook. Even when they're aggressively chasing a black child 130 yards down the street, they can say, hey, I'm chasing him, but this is self-defense. I fear for my life. That's the Kyle Rittenhouse thing.
what? Come on, man. That don't even make sense. Like, you chased them 130 yards. That's longer than a football field. That's crazy work. But a lot of people don't really understand that. Like, most y'all can't even run from y'all front door to y'all car. This man chased him that long as a 61-year-old man and then got in court, and him and his son tried to act like they didn't know the difference between somebody running towards them or somebody running away from them. Come the fuck on, man.
You show up, you go across state lines to instigate something and then holler about you in fear of your life. That's the Chud the Builder defense.
Yeah.
He goes out here intimidating and antagonizing people, tries to unalive somebody, and then tries to claim self-defense. You see? The only reason Chud is locked up, and again, the trial still has not started, and the fact that he has a bail at all is ridiculous because he's engaging in acts of terrorism. I got to watch my words. I love TikTok Shop.
Terrorism.
I gotta watch my words here. I love TikTok Shop. So the dominant society, they'll let these people validate some irrational fear of being afraid of us, like we're going to do something to them, and then grant them some kind of legal immunity. And we got these people who are economically exploiting our communities. They come in, they're allowed to set up shop in these black neighborhoods, extract the wealth,
Exactly.
treat the residents as suspects from the moment they walk in the door. And the dominant society, they give a green light to that exploitation. You understand?
And it's crazy because even when they operate, this is very true. Even when they operate outside of our community, which they don't a lot, but when they inside of white communities, they don't harbor that hostility towards the residents around there. You dig? Like, they not overly watching them. They're not suspect of their every move. They damn sure not causing harm to their children when they move around. You dig? So, and if they did, they know it'd be severe repercussions. So that's another thing that lets you know that this is purely on some anti-black shit because they feel as though, like I said, on that caste system, that we on the bottom of it. So they feel like they can treat us any type of way. But what they gonna see is the black community start to turn up again, the same way that they did with the Latasha case.
So the system is functioning as it was designed. See, this not guilty verdict for Rick Chow, that's not a glitch or a failure of justice. That's the system working like it was designed. See, we have to be the monkey wrench in that system, so to speak. Mm-hmm. We got to replace that system with a system of justice.
Period. Come on.
This whole thing where you're going to engage in this anti-black targeting and the institutional apparatus is going to provide legal cover, that's not going to happen. We have to stop that.
That's what they think. they think that white mommy and white daddy is gonna protect them and shield them in these moments. But the thing is, you in our communities face to face. So yeah, the legal system may swindle you a little bit, but you're gonna have to deal with the actual people. That's the thing. And everybody's not gonna be so kind to the situation. They're not gonna be smiling, friendly, wanting to shake your hand, forgive you, hug you, and say everything is gonna be bygones. No, it's not gonna go like that. You feel me? So y'all better be wary about how y'all treat the people and treat their children while y'all in these in our communities, period.
We have to say enough is enough. We have to make these politicians who come around us talking about voting for some damn minority coalition, hell no. And understand something. Notice how these people are doing this thing where they're going after black people who are soft targets. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying?
Women and children.
They're going after a lot of black people who are soft targets. There was a video, what was that city where they actually fired a race soldier, and I think they charged him. It was a sister somewhere. This white tee cop just came and just started beating the woman, just literally beating the woman for no reason. She was like, damn, what the hell? The black officer had to get the white tee man off the woman. Shout out to the black officer. Shout out to that brother. But yeah, the white tee cop just showed up, saw socking the woman in the face, literally for people like, what the hell are you doing? That was in North Carolina, Shelby. Yeah, he got fired, and I think they're talking about putting charges on him. These cowardly race soldiers. You got to understand, the white supremacists, man, it's a cowardly institution.
Yeah.
It's very cowardly. They depend on their institutionalized, militarized backing for their strength. They are cowards.
And even they buffer class is cowards, like these Asians, if we talking about them. Because like I just said earlier in the video, these people not running up on the class that they deem to be the criminal class. Yeah, they treating the women and children like criminals and stuff, but when they turn that TV screen on and they talk about black people and they denigrate these YNs, they have a figure in mind when they do that, right? And those brothers that's gonna give them the energy, they not running them down. They playing with kids. They playing with your grandma. They playing with your wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
That was in North Carolina, right? So he got charged with assault today. Shout out to Marilyn Monroe. Good. They needed to charge him. That's good. But look at how these people are going after women, children, and elderly. Another case out there in North Carolina, remember? The sister whose mother was a victim of alleged elder abuse. She was saying that, hey, these people were abused her elderly mother and ultimately unalived her mother. And the sister kept trying to get justice, and everybody was playing these little institutional games. So the sister said, hey, okay, well, let me go ahead and handle this myself. And she got her pew and let a couple of lawyers have it. Yeah. A lot of people are feeling like, okay, if this system is going to be janky, do I have to go out here in these streets and produce justice on my own? You see? But they're going after elderly black people, women, children. See, understand something. The dominant society, the white supremacists, they're facing a demographic shift. The white population, as we know, they're projected to become a statistical minority real soon. So historically, when a dominant group faces a decline in numbers, but they wish to retain complete control over the nation's resources, the political apparatus, and all the institutions, they have to shift from Democrat facades. They can't act like it's democratic. They got to be overt and structural with their suppression. See, this is what they want to do. They want to try to program us psychologically to accept subjugation, and we're just not doing that. See, they want to create an apartheid model of governance. See, in order to maintain power as a minority, the ruling class, you can't rely on your sheer numbers, so you must rely on weaponized legal and economic systems.
Exactly.
So the strategy shift is from assimilation to subtle bias to explicit to aggressive containment of the primary group who's a threat to that power. The only people who's a threat to white supremacy are foundational
us.
Black Americans.
It's us.
We're the only threat.
Black folks.
No other group is a threat. Asians are not a threat. Really.
Because you gotta think, I'm always saying this. I always run down the timeline for y'all from the 200 some odd years of slavery, Jim Crow, which you could basically still damn near call slavery, civil rights, to modern day. We still fighting. The timeline is it speaks for itself. You dig? It's one of those things where we are always resistant. We have a culture of resistance. That's where we come from. We always fighting the system. So if you think you're gonna corner us into a box, modern day, you're gonna have another thing coming. You know, we gonna stop the podcast here. I'll probably do a part 2 to this later. But I appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure that y'all get over to stonertrap.com. Y'all check out some of the music, the merch, other podcasts and live streams, you dig. And y'all stay blessed.